Just a quick disclaimer about today's video. Tomorrow is the first day of spring, and I'll tell you what, the crows were, I don't know, searching for mates. I don't know what they were doing, but they were so bad. I had to keep switching off on and off the video. So if you don't want to listen to crows squawking and me switching the video on and off, please don't watch this video. Be kind. Good morning. Jenny Clouston here from quite a chilly Sunshine Coast for some reason. I don't know. Yes, so I don't know, for those of you who have been watching my videos since about September last year, I don't know if you remember, I started going through my sewing room and giving it a spring clean, meaning not that I was cleaning it, but yes I was. But what I was doing is I was going in there and seeing all the fabric that I had bought, and I don't know why we do this as quilters, and we just buy stuff, I don't know. Anyway, and I started just using up my quilts, all my fabric, and I'm pretty excited to say that I have used up quite a lot and made some quilts. One of the good things is that my family love quilts and they use them all the time. So I am in my still working through the vintage sheet box. So I don't know if you remember, I made one for my granddaughter Pippa, and all I did was cut out squares out of the vintage sheets, and I then hand quilted it, and it was a very beautiful quilt. So this time I decided I would go quilt as you go method, and while it's not my favorite method because I love a hand quilted quilt, it's going really nice and quickly, and it's not as hard as they normally are because I am using vintage sheets on both sides. But anyway, as I was going, I was having a look at the squares and thinking, I've got to trim my backs. Yes, I was thinking, oh, very pretty. Yes, pretty. I've seen this before. And I started to get a little bit bored. And then I thought, what could I do to make these pop or something, make it more interesting? And then I thought, bam, I will get my block printing out and I will scatter some little bees around the quilt. And at first I thought that they were bees, but the more closely I looked at them, I thought to myself, are these angry hornets or wasps? I don't think they look like pretty bees. But anyway, I'm not going to tell my granddaughter, because I don't know if she'd like to be sleeping under a swarm of angry hornets or bees. But anyway, I think it's going to be very pretty. So I'm going to piece the whole thing, and then once that's done, I will stamp the bees people. They are not wasps. Sorry about the crow. He's out there this morning. He was sounding so mournful earlier on. So there you go. All right. So as you all know, tomorrow I'm having a colonoscopy, fun days. But one thing that is happening today is that I am doing a mark making workshop at the Botanic Gardens. So that's good, with paints. So I think I'm doing it on paper. Look, I don't know. I hope I'm doing it on paper. Go away, crows. It's just too early for you this morning. For you, Canada. All right. So I was listening to a podcast on Haptic and Hue with Joe Andrews, and the podcast was about sorrowing and how fabric and textiles play such an important part in the process of sorrowing. And I have a few tiny pieces of my dad's jacket left over, and without getting too personal and sharing too much, we have a little bit of an estrangement happening with one member of my family, especially with me, and I thought to myself, our family is so little and always has been, and now my dad's not here. Why don't I see if I make something and pop it in the post out of what I like doing, and see if that works, bringing us back together again. What do you think, peeps? I'm going to give it a go. So I'm using this, and what I'm going to also do is, as you know, in my books, especially in the flower books, I talk about this section. This is the foolproof flower one, I talk about twigs and softenings, and I say this is possibly my favorite stage of the design process. Just to remind you, just quickly, is that in my book I teach you how to, I go through the process. I shouldn't say I teach you, that sounds so arrogant. I go through the process of how to make these, you know, to create your own flower, oh, teacup, Jennifer, or, you know, your own floral design. And when it comes to this section over here, when I talk about softenings and for twigs, I say it is my favorite stage of this design. I love making twigs. Twigs add movement and dimension and blah, 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 and I go on. And the same thing in this book over here, in my freeform, there is a section on softenings. I don't know where it is. I should know. This is my book. I talk about them here as adding movement. So what I'm going to do, this is going to be the back of this little pouch that I'm going to make, and I'm going to do the back first and then go to the front. Now the reason why I'm doing that is I'm wanting to see how there's a reason why I'm doing back to front. I'm going to see how all my threads work on here, and then, you know, I'm going to experiment on the back because I don't have a lot of this fabric left. I've only got 2 pieces like this. So here we go. Okay, so what I need is a very nice milliner's needle. There you go. And I'm going to start with my favorite baby poo green. This is from the green pack, from the ones that I sell on my web. So I'm going to start with the green because I know that I love it, but does it actually show? So remember when I talk about threads, I always say don't lay the whole skein down like this, because that looks as though it's going to show. You need to just lie one piece of thread down, because that's actually how you're going to see it. So what I might do is, oh, those crows this morning, they kind of really are getting to me. I don't normally, but today they are. Maybe it's because I'm hungry and I can't eat. Okay, so what do we go with the red? How will the red work? Because I'm just going to make twigs. What about this one? I'm going to go with this one. I think that'll work. Yep. So I'm going to go with this one quickly. I might just switch off the camera just for a little while and see if the crows move off and finish my tea because it's getting cold. And I will thread up and I will get going. And look, I think he moved off. There's a currawong out there, but that's about all. Very early this morning. Okay, so let's decide what I'm going to do. What I think I might do is, where's one with a twisted chain? You know me and a twisted chain. It just, actually, let's do this one here. All right, so let's have a look what it says. I'm wanting to do N there, and N tells me I did a stem stitch first, straight leaves and colonial knots. Okay, so I'm going to do that one there. Oh, that's better. A currawong rather than a crow any day. Oh, would be nice if you made a knot in it. All right, let's go. Please excuse my hands. I've made I hand quilted a little baby quilt for my daughter's best friend, Grace. As you know, I made her quilt, a little baby quilt, a while ago, but I just didn't feel that it was conducive to a tiny little baby. She called her daughter Nora. How cute is that? And so hand quilting is quite hard on my hands because I use this bottom finger to press up. And also I've been working with, what do you call it? Parisian essence. So my hands are a little stained. Now, as I'm stitching along, quite a few have asked me questions, and let me see if I can answer them. So the one asked me once again what kind of marking pen I use on my work, and Oh my goodness me, this is going off at a really jaunty angle, but I'm going to follow. I'm not going to. So once again, I prefer not to, if I had a choice, I would prefer not to use any marking pen on my work. But my marking pen of choice is a Bowen chalk is always, which looks like this, if I have one in here. There you go. And only use the white chalk. Please don't use any other color. And then the other blue one that I use is a water soluble one, and that is Sullivan's. Now please don't just go ahead and assume a blue water soluble pen is going to come out. There are some different makes out there that do not come out or come back, so please be careful. Now on this one here, I had straight stitches to form this leaf. Another question was stabilizer. Now I obviously live in Australia, and I don't know what this particular stabilizer is called in the States or anywhere else. And it looks like this. Can you see it's sheer, and it's a little bit stretchy. There's a little bit of movement in it, and it's non-woven. And then after that, I put on this one I put on a parlin. Now I think parlin is called parlin anyway. I don't think that it's called anything else. And then Pellon is obviously Pellon, wherever you live. So I love Parlin, Parlan. I don't know why. I just think it gives me something, but it's not all lofty and springy. And so this little leaf here is simply straight stitches. I love a straight stitch. So what other questions have I been asked? Oh, Donna, you wanted me to show you how to hand quilt. Now that is difficult for me because I'm just not set up with cameras and whatever, and I used my bottom hand a lot when I'm hand quilting, so it's very difficult to get a camera underneath my bottom work. Anyway, I will tell you, Donna, that hand quilting is practice. It's practice. It's not easy to do, but if I can do it, you can do it. I was very lucky I'm nattering too much. As a young quilter, to be taught by a woman who loved hand quilting, and her work was sublime. And so, yes. What other question? Oh, somebody asked me if I ever use satin ribbon. No, absolutely never, ever. It's just too difficult to get through fabric, and life is too short to work with threads and fibers and textiles that do not bring you joy. So no, I don't. What other questions were asked? Somebody wanted to see my African fabric quilt. Oh, I always say I'm going to show you, and then I never do. I tell you fibs. I just get carried away, and A little tip when you're doing these, please make them nice and uneven, and also keep your stitches gloriously long, because you don't want stubby little... Everything gets really heavy if you make your stitches short. There you go. Where do you think? One more here, over here, do you think? And over here. And I think I'm just going to go down to the bottom over here and just give it another one over here. I'm so excited to go to this mark making workshop. I can't eat anything today because it's, colonoscopy prep day. So, okay, There you go. The sun is coming out, so it's might land up on my table, which sometimes is an issue. Okay, let me get my little oil jar. Do you know, I remember my little elephant silver pincushion? I had it in here for so long, and I actually cannot find it anyway. So I'm a little bit, feeling a little bit anxious about it. Shall I go pretty or shall I go rich? What do you think? I mean, is that doing anything for me? No, it's not. Oh, the crows are back, peeps. That one, that's also not doing it. Look, I'm from Africa, so I am all about color and vibrancy. So I think, I don't know what to go with. Oh, I'm going to switch off for a while. They're just bothering me today. I shouldn't say that. That's the one I'm going for. But it's variegated. Oh, I don't want to. Okay, what I'll do, that's why I'm not a fan of variegated threads. Because this works so well, but that end doesn't. Anyway, stop having a whinge, Jennifer. Do you know, yesterday I made a video, and first of all, it was quite cold and I was very early in the morning. It was such a bad video that there was nothing that I could save from it at all. Pretty sad, isn't it? Okay, so then it says I must put some colonial knots in there. And if I was blinging this, I could easily have added beads. Could I have not? Yeah. But I'm not adding beads. Not today. I could have, because I did find my little bead soup that I carry around with me on my grandmother's Benson and Hedges Super Virginia cigarette tin. Got quite a few of those. So I could have used some, because, something could have worked. Oh, those crows. What do you think? Do you know what? For some weird reason, I'm actually feeling the beads. Yep. Let's go beads, Jennifer. Out you come. Bonk. And so I need some Nemo beading thread. I actually might have to go inside for that. I need black, because I've only got those. I'll see you now. Okay. They've gone for the moment. Oh no, or have they? I mustn't speak too soon. Now another little tip that I can recommend to you about when you're beading, please use a proper beading thread, a Nemo beading thread. And I use Nemo. There are others, but you know that monofilament thread, I wouldn't advise you to use that. That gets actually brittle with time and it will eventually break. So also, what I do is I have such an aversion to a wobbly bead. So I do an anchoring stitch before and after every bead. I know it's painstaking, but for me, oh, that's a bit better. Oh, the butcher birds have arrived. Oh, that's not going to go through. So normally when that bead doesn't go through, I just sort of throw it over my shoulder. Because if it's not going to go through my milliner's number 9 needle, why have it in my stash? I'm really trying very hard today to keep my work centered. All right, so there you go. I'm just bombing along with these little beads. I think I'm happy with the beads. Colonial knots would have been nice, but this adds a little bit of, you know, the thread. And oh, that's the same one. See, no, it's another one. I'll boot you away. And I'm not really going, you see, when I bead, this is a top from a caper jar, and it's nice and small, and then I just put a beading mat in because I like to bring my beads to me rather than reaching over. I do talk about that in the first book, Foolproof Crazy Quilting. Anyway. So when you are working with beads or beading thread, you normally match your thread to your bead. So, but because I am working on a very, very dark fabric, I am using a black thread. I don't think this is going to go through. Oh, it did. So you normally, rule of thumb, your beading thread matches the color of your bead, unless you are working obviously in a white background or in a black like I am now. Okay. What other questions am I asked? So many questions. If I don't answer them, I try hard to remember to answer the questions here. Another one that's not right. Oh, life is so bad hard today. Do you know that I was on the phone for 5 hours with my daughter the other day? She was working on a script and she couldn't get it. So I sat with her. I had to charge, kept charging my phone. Anyway, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have to do one more, don't I? To make it nice and uneven. Don't forget that holding stitch, Jennifer. I'll come up. Oh, it's peaceful now without those crows. Just a bit much early in the morning. All right, there you go. I'm really so excited about the little angry hornet quilts, but I mustn't say that. My granddaughter, little Lila, will not be happy. Oh, come on, that's also going to be thrown away. She will not be happy sleeping under a angry hornet. But I do think it makes the whole quilt, you know, a little bit more interesting. Truth be told, I was getting a little bit bored, and when I get bored, I kind of, you know, mess around, and my brain kicks into gear and says, okay, what can we do to make this really interesting? All right, so that's really looking lovely, and I'm happy with that. So let's see what else we can do here. I've gone through the thread here, peeps, which often happens with this beading thread. It's a little bit chilly here, so my hands are cold. But, you know, crows and cold hands, that's what happens when you like to work outdoors as I do. Okay, so that's pretty good. I wonder what else I can choose from now. I'm just going to do another one. We don't want the knots to come undone. The beads, shall I say. Okay. I'll just put those away because I am notorious for knocking beads over. Okay. There we go. What to do next, peeps? What to do? So that's that. Let's go back to flower. What other tickles my fancy? A lot. Of course, you know me. I love that one that I made up. What shall I do? Twisted chain? I always do twisted chain. Yeah, I'm going to do a twisted chain. Okay, let's go. thread now. What are we going to use? What are we going to use? So will this green be a better match? This is eucalypt. Not really. Not really. Shall I go a blue, a purple, or whatever? Just make it fun. And nope, that's not doing it for me either. This is proving to be quite the tricky thing, isn't it? I wonder if I should put some, I wonder if I should do this, add a little bit of bling bling. How's that looking? Actually, in the flesh, it looks really good. I'm doing that. All right. So this is a Sue Spargo, eleganza or whatever. Oh, no, not eleganza. I don't know what it's called. Let's have a look. Dazzle. Wonderful dazzle. So it's a really lovely, it presents as a kind of like a pearl 12. No, Jennifer, not a pearl 12, a pearl number 8. And it's got a little bit of bling, but she frays horrendously. She kind of misbehaves. So if I was you and I was using this at home, I'm going to show you something quickly. I don't know if you can see this. Can you see as I'm threading this, something's happening there? What that's telling me is that this needle, can you see how everything's, I'm losing the twist at the top here? I don't know if you can see. And what that's telling me is this needle, the eye of this needle is too small for that thread. And the thread, she's just getting so stressed out. So I'm going to say thanks for that lovely needle. And I'm going to go to a little chenille number 22. Oh dear, guess who's back? And then she slides through and then nothing is being damaged. Okay? See how she kind of... I'm just going to go and get a fresh cup of tea. Because that's all I can have today, isn't it? Tea and water the whole day. And I am such a big eater. Ugh. So I'm going to come down here. So what I want to do is have this one this way. I'm not going to mark, or do you want me to mark this so you can actually see how I'm going? If you're a beginner to twisted chain, I would encourage you to mark your fabric because it's easy to see. All my instructions are in the book, but as I said, I'm not self-published, so I need to just reiterate again for those of you followers or new to me. If you have a look at the instructions on twisted chain, for example, sorry, I just have to do this again for newbies. There it is there, twisted chain, but I do most of my stitching upside down. So if you're going to follow me on this, you need to turn the instructions this way. I work away from me, okay? In many of my stitches, I work away from me. So this thread is way too long. Oh no, he's back. Honestly to goodness. I think I might have to cut this video short today because of that noisy crow. Where are the butcher birds? Where are the kookaburras? I don't know if you remember when I first started videoing how bad the crows used to be. Oh my goodness, they just decided, well, Jenny is videoing in her garden. Let's just join the party or let's disrupt it. I don't know which was they thought they were doing. I don't mind crows. I actually find them funny. But I know that they are quite distracting if you hear them on the... There you go. All right. How am I going to cope with not eating today? Now, because this kind of unravels, this thread, there's a bit of rayon in it. And so a rayon thread, you kind of have to bully her into submission, because otherwise she's just going to just continually be springy. Okay, here's my twisted chain. Now, what did I have? Where's my pin cushion? Jennifer, put your needle in a pin cushion. What did I have on here? Back to the twisted chain. What can I add on here? Let's go to the FREEFORM book and let's see what I added on in here. I think these are simpler. There you go. Can you see? Twisted chain. And I added straight stitch, my favorite things. Let's do that. Okay. Let's do that quickly because then I have to bomb inside and get ready for my mark making. My finger takes such a beating underneath where I hand quilt. All right. Quickly. I shouldn't do everything so quickly, but I do. It's just the way I do things. I can hear the kookaburras way away. There you go. Stab stitch always from the outer perimeter into a point where there are a whole lot of threads happening. It just, for me, it works dimensionally and also genade. I am trying so hard to stay in frame today because I've gotten a little bit shell-shocked from that last episode. I had such a great day. I was stitching away. I was working on this. And I was adding beads and sequins, and I added all different stitches and really loving myself. And when I look back at it, I went, oh my hat, it's bad. See how springy this thread is. She is not, I love her. I love this thread, don't get me wrong. But she kind of misbehaves on me sometimes, and I've got to sort of take a deep breath and say, okay, you be you and I'll be me. Thank goodness they've moved off. Okay, so there we go there. And then what did I have on here? Let's just go back. Sorry, I'll edit me paging through this book out so it will not be so. So then I've got colonial knots, and then I've also on the outer I've got 2mm silk ribbon. Yay, at last, instant gratification. Gotta love a bit of silk ribbon to give you what you want. Well, not exactly, because I've only got this in this oat jar. Purple definitely not. Let me see what I can find. In my orchard. Gracious me, those crows just would not let up. So now the sun is out on my work, and today has just not been, you know, the most relaxing little daily stitching. It's been funny. I've laughed. I mean, really, they are just something else. And but anyway, so be it. As I said, I went in to use some silk ribbon embroidery because it's my instant gratification. It just gives me what I want, and she's closed up on me, but that's okay. And yeah, so Jane, you have ordered the green pack, so you will be able to have a lot of fun with your green pack. You could do this if you liked, because there's green threads, green silk ribbon in your pack, and what else is in there? Sequins, beads. Oh, it's gone orangey there. It's not happening for me today, peeps. So what's happening? It wasn't meant to be. Come on. I might just pop one on there and then add some colonial knots to this, and then I am done for the day. And just like with a flick of a tail feather, I have got two little twiggy things on my project. Little colonial knots. Okay, let's choose a color for that, get them done, and then I can get ready for my workshop at the Botanic Gardens. All right, now what color am I going to use there? My question being, do I just not go in with a green to keep the, yeah, I'm going to. I'm not going to add another color to that because I'm actually quite liking it as is. Oh, I'll just use this one. I'm also trying not to move my hand and my arm across the screen, the camera. It's all, you know what, I am not a professional at this, and if I really allowed myself to really get anal about this, I will stop doing it, because I just started doing these videos, you know, for fun, for me. Yeah, that works well. Keep her nice and subdued. These are colonial knots. I have spoken through a colonial knot in a previous video. Just a little tip here quickly is, this is important when you do your knot. This section here, when you hold that hand and you pull your knot down onto the surface of the work, try and remember that, because that's going to give you a perfectly tight little colonial knot, like a bead. I don't like mine to be wobbly. Oh no, look who's back. Okay, listen. Thank you so much for your time. I really am going to call it a day. The sun is out, it's beautiful, and I've got a busy day ahead of me. And so thank you so much for your time, and bye for now. I thought I'd show you this. This grubby little box sits next to me on a little sewing table when I'm sewing at night, and it's looking pretty grotty and whatever, so I'm going to give it to my husband. He's painting the back fence at the moment, and I'm getting him to paint it black or greyish charcoal. I'll keep you updated. So this is the wooden box after my husband has painted it, little work box. So it sits next to me when I in the lounge at night, and it keeps everything that I need, but everything looks so much better with the grey than the wood. So there's my old South African Zulu beaded coaster for the wine. My dad's quart jar he gave me, my sugar bowl. Everything that I need is right next to me, and it looks so better, so much better. Woohoo! Have I made you dizzy?